Hello there. I'm History of the Flash, but you can call me JD.
Ahoy in the comic Hunter, also known as just Hunter.
And this is an OG episode of A Hero Story because we're back to just the two main hosts.
I forgot about
We
that.
fired Harper and Tyler. They're
Mhm.
officially off the. I'm joking. They're not off the show. They were both occupied. Well, no, they're fired. We made a mutual decision. We're back to just the two of us this week because of schedules, I guess. And
Kangaroo Jack stuff and Home Alone 2. What's another New York movie? What could Tyler be doing this week? You didn't really say.
I think Home Alone 2 is a good one. You said
Home
what's
Alone
another
2?
New York movie? Like there's not 5,000 New
Yeah,
York
I was about to
movies?
say I can only think of superhero ones.
He's in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. He's one of the pedestrians in Times Square.
Yeah. He's about to grab on. He was the guy who actually did grab onto the metal pole thing when Spider-Man got that
Times Square stairs. Yeah.
So Tyler is currently recovering from that.
And he's trying to get his hair back to its natural curls.
Exactly.
It got chopped up.
And Harper is locked up right now.
Harper, as he should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I am back. apparently, last week I was recording. I was a Disney star recording Luca.
Yeah, you were. It takes place in Italy.
I still gotta watch it.
You're Alberta.
My aunt was telling me I would like it, so I gotta check it out.
I'm telling you would like it.
But I'm back on the podcast this week. Happy to be back. It's not a crazy week on the podcast though.
No.
It's a pretty low key week. I only read one.
Because Loki came out this week.
That was not the pun I was going for at all. I was not going for that.
Fair enough.
I only read one comic this week. You read four?
Yeah. So I got United States of Captain America #1, Beta Ray Bill #4, Eternals #5. Yes, I'm still reading that. And Daredevil #31.
Wow, an entire Marvel week for you.
That's, well, it's a fifth Wednesday, so DC doesn't really do stuff on fifth Wednesday.
Oh, was this? I did not even realize it was a fifth Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So it was weird. Some people were posting that the Flash annual was coming out. People were posting in the what I'm picking up today, and they're posting the Flash annual, but I don't think it comes out for another 2 weeks. No. It wasn't at my shop at least, but some people were posting it as what I'm picking up.
Interesting.
So I don't know.
Green Arrow 80th anniversary actually came out.
I read the Denny O'Neil story and a little bit of the Connor Hawk one.
I didn't read any because I
didn't get the issue though. I just someone posted Denny O'Neil.
I love Green Arrow, but I'm a little low on money at the moment, and it's like $10 or something.
Listen, those anniversary issues are a rip.
Yeah, so you know what? Sorry, I'll get the Aquaman one probably.
I was going to say, what about when the Aquaman one comes out?
I'll probably get that one. It depends where I'm in financially, but yeah.
You're like Peter Parker.
It was there at the comic store, and I was like, no, I have to not.
Wow, you had. Imagine you had that kind of resistance about buying Eternals every month.
Yeah, well, Eternals isn't that bad. It's just.
It's not that it's bad. It's just that you don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't get it. We'll talk about it when we get there.
$4 a month. Anyway, we'll start with the comic book news because that's how we started this podcast. But there's also really not much news. That's my point about this episode. It's it's a very low key episode. It's very laid back. It's very relaxed this week. Put your headphones in, cruise back, and let's get to some news.
This news week was mostly me just getting scraps, searching difficultly to find news that came out. I'm gonna just open my blinds a bit so I'm a bit more brighter. There we go. Sorry, I'm sitting in a dark room here.
Lighten up.
Yeah. So starting with the news of the week, we have Aquaman 2 has begun filming.
Yeah! Woo!
Yay! Not much to go on.
There be Aquaman 2. Let there be Manta.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Manta is the main villain, as far as I know, judging by the end credit scene in the first one. Orm is returning because Patrick Wilson posted a video that he's been training for it. So.
I'm assuming Jimmy Woo is also going to be a big part of it.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, he was in the first one. That's right.
Remember, he was at the end.
Yeah, he was. So he plays the guy in New 52 who's obsessed with Atlantis, but no one believes that Atlantis is real. Yeah, interesting. I forgot about him. Yeah,
he's going to team up with Manta at some point.
They showed basically what looked like the CW Fortress of Solitude, and that's all we have from the movie. It's just a little state with a action click. I don't know movies clearly.
I don't know what that's called either. Clacker?
Oh
no. Clacker? I don't know what it's called.
I was just having a conversation about this the other day in an escape room where there's one of those, and I don't know the name.
Okay, there was not enough context to just throw that. I was having a conversation about the thing from the movie in an escape room.
Well, I was doing an escape room, and one of those was in there, and we had to count the squares on the top because it was black and white, and it was in a pattern. And I'm like, what is this called? And I couldn't figure out what it was called. I couldn't remember. Anyways.
Fun fact: I went to an escape room once with 3 friends of mine, and we were not good at solving puzzles. Now, our timer in the room, you know how there's like the timer above the door?
Yeah.
Ours wasn't counting down, it was counting up. So it was giving us more time. So after like 30 minutes of, I think you pay for like an hour. After like 30 minutes of being in there, we're like, what the heck? Like, why is it still going up? We thought it was like part of the puzzle. And then the person came in the room to like check on us, and they're like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. I guess you guys got 30 minutes for free. And we were like, oh no, it's fine. Like we weren't having that good of a time because we're just not good at puzzles. We're like, no, it's fine. They're like, no, stay in there. We're like, please let us out. They would not let us escape.
Well, did you end up solving a little bit more?
No, we did not solve.
Oh, okay.
Well, we solved like the first 2 clues, and it was just like, all right, how do we kill the next hour?
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. I guess you got to get better with puzzles. Do you have good? You must have good escape rooms where you are.
I'm sure it was a good escape room. I'm just not my scene.
Okay, because the area that I'm from, there's a lot of escape rooms that aren't very good, but they're still entertaining in a way. I don't know. I guess I'm better at puzzles than you.
Not a puzzle man.
That's our thoughts on Aquaman 2 filming.
And that's our thought. Thank you, James Wan.
What I was going on with that, click that thing. James Wan posted a picture of that in what looks like Superman and Lois CW Fortress of Solitude. That's what it looked like he was in. So Ice Cave, essentially. That's where Luke Skywalker goes in Empire Strikes Back. Nice. The rest of the news is all Spider-Man stuff again. So Willem Defoe says that he prefers to wait when asked, are you in Spider-Man? So instead of him denying it like every other actor, he just says, I prefer to wait. So
I think that's the better answer, to be honest.
I mean, that's sort of basically confirming him that he's in without saying it. So I believe that he's going to be in it. Maybe
listen, I'm tired of hearing like every Spider-Man actor who's ever existed is confirmed for Spider-Man 3. Like that guy who yelled, "Whoa, he just took that guy's pizza." He's going to be in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah,
he
is.
Like, just the movie's going to come out this year, right? Let's just let it happen.
I think people are just like desperate for any.
Once that trailer comes out, like, they're gonna look for anything. Like, if there's 3 like polls in a row, they're gonna be like 3 polls were in the trailer that confirms the 3 Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. Do you not think we'll see the Spider-Man in the trailer?
Of course we're gonna see them. At this point, It's been rumored so much that you couldn't possibly, like, you know how bad that would be for Sony and Marvel if it wasn't actually. Of course we're gonna see them. But like, I'm just so annoyed of like everything that Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield or any of them do is like, oh my God, he took 3 bites out of his bagel, confirmed. Like,
oh yeah, fair enough. I don't know what post you're referring to there, but I know what you mean.
It annoys me, like every time I see like Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield on the news, like, just let them live their lives, man. The movie's gonna come out.
Yeah, there's that picture.
But I'm also not a fan of like set leaks. Like, I don't know. I guess I kind of missed the day of like, when we were kids, you didn't know anything about a superhero movie before you went into it. Like, I don't even
think
now
you run a flash page.
Yeah. But I'm saying like when I watched like Iron Man or Incredible Hulk in the theaters or Dark Knight or whatever, like, I don't think I knew anything about the movie before I went in. I don't even know if I saw a trailer at that point.
Oh, I saw trailers. I remember watching commercials for Iron Man.
I can't even remember watching a trailer until like, I don't know, 2011, 2012. Maybe Avengers is a trailer I remember.
Every single advertisement for Iron Man showed the one scene where he shoots the tank and then turns around and walks as it explodes. That was every ad leading up to Iron Man.
Like I can't remember watching ads and like that. I don't know. I feel like that made for like the best movie experience. Nowadays, it's like you see 1,000 leaked photos, 10 different trailers. Like I remember when I saw Batman vs Superman, I knew so many of the lines to Batman vs Superman while I was in the theater for the first time viewing. Like, it was insane how many of the lines I knew. And I mean, I guess it's partially on me because I watched every single trailer 5,000 times. But like, it was crazy. So like. All these leaks, and that's really the rest of our news here is like leaks, right? Like,
it literally is, yeah.
Like the Spider-Man suit has been leaked. The Flash movies had leaks. Like, I kind of come to hate these leaks.
Well, you're gonna hate this episode. Because yeah, Spider-Man suit was leaked on a Lego set. There was some images, and then someone else after that leak, like full renders, a little bad quality because it's a leak in the end, but of the No Way Home suit, and it is like the Far From Home suit, except the symbol is a lot bigger. It's gold. I don't like it.
Yeah, I when you guys sent it, I didn't actually think it was. I didn't think that it was it.
Yeah, that's it right there. If you're on YouTube, JD's showing it right now. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
no,
little odd. It looks like something that's like a video game add-on suit that you never use.
yeah, literally. Like, I mean, Spider-Man, what does he wear? Red and blue, and now you're giving him red, black, and gold.
It's like if you took like the um Iron Spider suit and the No Way Home, or I mean the
Far
Far From
From
Home
Home.
suit, and kind of just put them in a blender.
Yeah, basically, yeah, because the symbol is big like that. I put my thoughts out there, and I said I'm not a big fan of it. And I had one person message me being like, "Well, I mean, they're going off of the Iron Spider suit in the comics, but it doesn't look like that." And this is just a picture leak. No one has said that. So.
And also, why would they be going? They already did the Iron Spider concept
Yeah, so why would they do that again? Tony Stark is gone in the MCU, so
or
why
is
would they
he?
go that path? Oh yeah, where is he? So I don't know. I just miss Spider-Man with blue, and it's weird how Marvel is going away from that. Well, MCU, not just Marvel.
I still think the best Holland suit is probably the original Homecoming suit.
I agree, and even then, that one's just okay to me.
Yeah, I think it could have been better. Like the one that they used for Civil War that they didn't end up using, like the one that they use.
Mhm.
You've seen that one before,
Yeah,
right? That one's killer.
and behind the scenes pictures, yeah, they just need the webbing to be darker. The fact that it's like a dark red instead of a black, and it's very faded, makes it just looks like it's not even there when on like far away pictures. So I don't know. This new suit maybe will look better in motion, but just from first reactions, not the greatest fan. Uh, what was the other news? Oh yeah, there was a Lego set for Far From Home that was leaked, or No Way Home. Sorry, the new Spider-Man movie that was leaked. It doesn't really confirm anything except that Wong's going to be in the movie because there's a Wong figure that comes with it, and it's
This dude
specifically for
Benedict Wong
Spider-Man.
is just cashing checks left and right.
Yeah.
He's in movie after movie. He's going after like Hugh Jackman Wolverine and Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Like he's going after both of them as like I could appear in the most movies.
Yeah, I mean, he's fighting Abomination, and he's helping, and then after that, he'll be helping Spider-Man, and then he's helping Doctor Strange. What will he be in next? Maybe he'll be even appear in a Disney Plus show, and we won't even know it.
Wong solo movie
Yeah,
only on Disney Plus.
I won't say who, but this past week's Loki episode, just for those who didn't see it, I won't spoil it, but it had a surprising character that we knew was going to appear later on in the MCU, but we didn't know that she or he would appear in Loki, and she or he was.
I don't think the people care about spoilers that much.
Probably not, but just in case. Because we said we weren't going to review Loki until it's completely over. Flash leak. You want to talk about this, JD? Because you're the Flash guy.
Oh yeah, it's because everyone knows Ezra Miller's Flash is my favorite thing to talk about in the world.
Resume.
Ezra Miller. There's some leaks from the Flash movie. It's some and other stuff. We get to see Keaton Batman, Supergirl. I forget her name. Sarah Cali.
Kal-El? No.
Her as Supergirl and Ezra as Flash, like all together. One of the pieces of concept art had like the Flashpoint Superman. I don't know if you saw that one. It was it was like Keaton, Batman, and Ezra Flash breaking into a lab, and like a scrawny person like that. I'm assuming is supposed to be Superman, like in a white suit, like balled up on the ground.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
they are doing Flashpoint things.
Is it going to be like Shazam where we can't show Superman's face?
Oh God!
Imagine that.
It'll either be that, or
like,
they'll hire someone else to play that Superman. God. It'll be just some guy. It'll be a celebrity that you recognize, to the point that you don't see him as the character. It's like, okay, but that's not Superman. That's Matt Damon. you know in Interstellar? Did you see Interstellar?
Yeah.
When Matt Damon comes out, it's like, oh my God, another astronaut's alive. But I feel like most audience were like, oh my God, it's Matt Damon.
I was like, wait, I thought I was watching Interstellar, not The Martian.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. So yeah, this Flash leak it's being deleted. So if you see people posting
I sent it to our group chat and that thing was gone within like 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it looks like a video for DC Fandom, which is in October. Like there's interviews. There are interviews with the director and Ezra talking about what this movie means. And Ezra, there's literally, I think the only thing he says is, "Cool thing about Flash is speed is his only power, but there's more than that." I think that's the only thing he really says. So it's basically just describing Flash. I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He is correct.
Yeah.
I can confirm. History of the Flash fact number 159.
Ezra Miller was right.
Ezra Miller is correct.
When he says the Flash is fast, but there's more to it. Yeah, so I guess if this is all we have for Flash content for DC Fandom, then this is literally all we had last year. Interviews with the cast, interviews with the director, and a couple pieces of the concept art. That's it.
I mean, I'm assuming by October they gotta have like some kind of like teaser trailer, right? Like if they're filming now, there's gotta be something.
When's it out? Do you know?
I don't know, but I mean, I could picture like a simple teaser trailer of like the Flash like running up to the Batcave, and then Keaton like being like, "I'm Batman," and then Ezra's like, "Whoa," and then it just cuts and it's like Flashpoint coming to a theater near you.
November 4th, 2022. So when Fandom comes out, it's still over a year away. But I guess the Batman was over a year away, and they still showed footage for that. So
the Batman was supposed to come out this week, right?
Yeah, last week.
In a non-COVID world, we would have been reviewing it on the podcast like this week.
And in a non-COVID world, we would have already seen most MCU movies that have been announced too. Like we would have been ready. Like, all right, so now that Hawkeye's over, our next show is Moon Knight, and join us next week as we review like probably not Blade, but something coming out that's soon. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But yeah, things happen. That's the news of the week, by the way. That's all I could find.
It's gonna be like record time for us.
That's 17 minutes.
Wow.
That's all I could find. But we got 4 comics to talk about, and we have a plan to talk about more comics.
Yeah, we got four comics to talk about. I'll give you the spoiler of Eternals. Yeah, the art's pretty good, but I don't really know what's going on. Okay. But it's pretty good. Like I'm enjoying it, but like I don't really know what's going on. But this art is killer.
I'll start with it. First off, by the way, Daredevil pick of the week, cover of the week is Daredevil. That cover's so cool.
Yeah, the cover is like one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. Mm-hmm. I was hoping the inside was going to be more based on like what the cover is.
Honorable mention to the United States to Captain America. The cover opens up to Alex Ross.
Alex Ross is a G.
It's very nice. He took my money because of Captain America, but
so much of your money.
Yeah, he's the reason I couldn't buy Green Arrow this week. Eternals. So I was a little confused, but the art was pretty nice.
Oh my god, I predicted this.
There's a moment where Tony Stark is in it, and he has kind of strange eyes at one point, but the art was nice. All in all, though, Eternals. I go online to discussions about Eternals on Reddit or Instagram, and everyone's saying that, like, wow, this book is good. So it must be good. This
is nonsensical, okay? This is nonsensical.
I mean, Thanos is in it. I know that guy.
God.
I know Icarus.
It was even worse when you made the post of like explaining the Eternals because like Hunter Murray, Marvel expert, Eternals expert is like on your resume.
Resume.
Oh God.
I guess we should explain that. Who said resume?
I said resume. So we have a chat with me, Tyler, Harper, and Hunter, and someone said that like Harper's just the voice guy, and he's like, wow, that's all I am, just the voice guy. And I was like, nah, man, you could add that to your resume, like you're the voice guy. And then immediately after I said resume, Tyler, like without skipping a beat, like 10 seconds later, sends the video of Ezra Miller saying resume.
That sounds like this.
French, of course. Resume, I believe, the past participle from the French.
He had that ready to go like that after I said resume, and we were all just, like, everyone in the chat was just like, "What the? How did you possibly have that ready?"
Yeah, like immediately after Harper says, "Why do you just have that?" So that's why I keep saying, because I think it's funny that Tyler just happened to have this video of Ezra Miller saying resume.
Yeah.
Anyways,
and anyway, on Hunter's resume here, he is an Eternals expert. I don't get it. Like, I get that the art's nice, and I get that you want to like this book.
Looking next week.
Oh
Thanos.
wow, cover is so fucking cool. You still won't get the book. I don't get it. Like, you don't get it. Why do you still read something that you don't understand?
Here's what's happening. There's a traitor in the Eternals, right? And they don't know who, so it's always
there's an imposter among them. You mean?
Oh, among us.
Among us.
So they all think it's one woman, and she basically reveals herself to be the traitor, but she did that in order to reveal the real traitor, who obviously
two imposters among us.
Yeah, well, actually, just one. One was a double agent, technically.
Oh.
So the main imposter being the guy with the lines on his head. Right?
What's his name?
I can find it. Hold on. They say it at some point, I think.
See what I got to deal with every week, people. See what I got to deal with.
This guy, you know?
Oh yeah, that guy. Who is he?
I
already know Robert is like already messaging me like Hunter knows nothing about the Eternals. Why is he reading this title?
Okay, I'm quickly reading what they're saying. Then they think he's doing it for a good reason. People do stop saying he, just say his name. Enough talk. We stop him. Let's go get him. Come on. Fastos. No, maybe not. They might be talking with someone else for that.
Oh God. Are you gonna keep up on this book?
No, it is Fastos. I'm gonna read the next issue because it's the finale of this arc, and then I'll decide.
Are you gonna read the new Moon Knight book? Speaking of characters that you know nothing about, and
I know
to jump onto.
I know a bit about Moon Knight.
Oh yeah, what do you know about him other than that his name is Mark Spector, that he's Jewish, and that he has multi-personalities? Give me one other fact about him.
His God. One of his. Man, you're quizzing me on the spot here. Just one other fact, like any fact.
Yeah, give me anything. Literally
his
anything.
Newest personality from his most recent run from 2011 is called Mr. Knight. Is where he wears a white suit and a white, basically balaclava, and he thinks he's basically like. I'm trying to think of a character to compare him to. He's
Please
basically
don't be CBR who compares him to Batman.
Stranger of the Night. That's who he is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Stranger of the Night. That's our character.
That's our character. Okay, I'm impressed.
He goes out at night and he fights crime, and in a gruesome manner, in a suit, only at night, and he tries to hide himself.
Okay.
There you go. Boom.
My point of this was that I get trying to jump onto books to try to learn more about a character, and I'm all for it. In like 1975, maybe, but in the day and age of where you could buy a trade or you could buy old books of a run and learn a character, I just don't know that I understand. I'm trying to think of a comparison of like a DC book, right? If you knew nothing about the character, none of history, like the New Gods, right? If you knew not one thing about the New Gods other than that Darkseid's kind of quasi related to them, if that's all you knew about the New Gods, and then they announced a new Gods title, right?
Yeah.
Instead of going back and reading the New Gods stuff that exists, and you know absolutely nothing, you don't know any of the characters' names, and you read that New Gods title, and you're like, well, I don't get what's going on after 5 issues, but the art's cool. You know?
I mean, some people will just...
Does it make sense?
The art. You know?
I don't get it, people. I don't get it.
Hey, it's a team. You know, you got your writer, your artist, your colorist. Some people buy for just one of those people. You know?
I'm cheering for the editor.
Yeah. Some people just buy for the editor. Yeah. Not Bendis's editor for the early days of his Superman run, but maybe some other editors.
That poor man.
Yeah, getting so many questions on the Flash. Why is his hair red? But yeah, Eternals is like, it is well written. I'm not like, this is terrible. I just imagine reading a murder mystery, but it doesn't introduce the characters. So Knives Out, that's a popular one. Have you seen Knives Out?
I haven't, but I know the premise.
Okay. Imagine going to Knives Out, right? You're watching it, someone's dead. Who did it? But they don't really tell who the characters are. They just go around like, who did it? Was it you? But you don't know who this person is. That's what Eternals is to me. Which is fair because it's a comic book. You know, you don't want to start every comic being like, my name is Jason Todd, I was killed by the Joker and brought back to life, that kind of thing. Like you kind of just expect people to know. So it's good. I'm reading it because I'm entertained. I'll probably drop it, but yeah, 7 out of 10. It's not really.
Oh God. Okay, I tried, people. I tried.
Yeah.
What's next? What are we talking? Daredevil.
We could talk Daredevil. Yeah, I'm curious.
Daredevil
what
is such an amazing
inside.
cover, and I've been looking forward to this book for so long. And I gotta say, the issue's kind of just all right.
Really,
I love
I
the
thought it was good.
I love the Bullseye stuff, and I'm excited for for what's gonna go on with Bullseye. But the rest of the issue, I was kind of just like, eh.
Fair enough. I thought it was good development with Matt, kind of like intimidating the prison
The
by
warden.
like saying, like, getting rid of the warden's panic button and being like, because I don't want you to press a button, I want you to scream. Like, it's got a good dialogue, it's got good moments. The Elektra stuff is, I mean,
It's very basic, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Like
I'm gonna go kick ass and take names, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, like I've seen this before, kind of thing. Which, I mean, it's cool to see Elektra doing this, but it doesn't do much, essentially.
Yeah, like every scene that I see with Elektra Daredevil, I'm like, hell yeah, like this is it. Like I'm so excited. I love the suit, love the character, and then it kind of just ends up being like a regular scene. Like I want her to have her shining moment.
Yeah, and we're still kind of waiting on that. In general, the Mike Murdock stuff. We're back to that.
You don't like Mike Murdock.
I don't. And funny thing about that, actually, I was just reading Mark Waid's Daredevil. I finished the first omnibus last night. And you know, at the back of omnibus is how people, like the writer, talks about writing the book, essentially. He wrote about how
The afterward.
Yeah, he basically, Mark Waid said that there was a question, it was like a Q&A saying, like, are you going to bring Mike Murdock back? Because at the time, Mike, for those who don't know, Mike Murdock was a alter ego that Matt Murdock did, where he pretended to have vision and be like, oh, I'm Mike Murdock, I'm Matt Murdock's twin brother, and just was like,
The whole like comic history of Mike Murdock is kind of dumb.
yeah, it's a very stupid and cliche idea. But basically, at the back of this book, the question was, are you going to bring Mike Murdock back? Because, you know, Mark Waid's run was going to be more lighthearted than the previous few. And Mark Waid basically said that he thinks that Mike Murdock is a funny concept, but not one that you can do in today's storytelling. It worked in like the 60s and the 70s, but in 2011, which was when he started his run, I believe, it doesn't really work. And here we are in 2021 reading about Mike Murdock.
I mean, he's kind of got a point, but I do trust Chip. Like, I don't think the Mike Murdock stuff has paid off yet, but I think he's still building to something. You know, it's kind of weird with Daredevil because issues 1 through 24 are perfect, and I stand by that. They are all perfect 10 out of 10s, like some of the best comics you can read.
Agreed.
And then 25 is the one where Elektra becomes Daredevil. Matt goes to jail, right? And then you have the like annual type thing with the Mike Murdock, and then you have the Venom tie-ins, and now we're kind of where we're at now. Since and this is what I said, I don't know, maybe around like issue 15 or 16, I said like at some point it's gonna stop being perfect because you can't have a perfect, like every single issue can't be perfect forever. You know, eventually the quality, even if it's still good quality, is gonna come down. And I think we've kind of hit that lull where it's not bad, it's still good. It's just that we're used to the 10 out of 10s. So anything below that just feels like so much less. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, when I get Daredevil, it's still like, oh, new Daredevil's out this week. First thing I read. Even though I still love it, I definitely miss the.
Yeah, like this is still a good issue, and I'm sure, like in an unbiased point of view, like yeah, it's a very fine issue. But when you compare it to stuff that's 1 through 24, it's just like fuck, like you're comparing a 10 out of 10. You know, it's tough. So I still think it's gonna get back to that kind of level, especially bringing in Bullseye. I mean, it looks like we're about to get a showdown between Elektra, Daredevil, and Bullseye. Like this might finally be the this might find this is the rematch of Daredevil 181, and it's might be time for Elektra to shine. as Daredevil.
Yeah, I mean, so Bullseye, he's a crazy character in general. He usually, when he shows up in Daredevil comics, I mean, something's gonna happen. He's not the villain of the week or the villain of the month. He is gonna do something that's gonna like affect Daredevil history. That when you go on the wiki page, you'll read about this issue essentially. So that tends to happen. Usually when people use Bullseye, yeah, he's the guy that never misses. It's kind of like a generic name, but he's killed Karen Page. He's killed why am I forgetting the other woman she killed? Elektra, yeah, duh. We just mentioned that. Yeah. He's killed Elektra. He's gone and he's like mentally tortured Matt Murdock. So now he's back here. He's the reason, like Ben Urch, the reporter that's usually like Daredevil's Commissioner Gordon in a way, he's the reason that he's afraid at times because of the time that in Frank Miller's run when he killed the Ben Urch's friend in the movie theater. So now his goal here usually is to kill people, is to kill every single person in Manhattan. That's his goal. So he sits on a roof and he just starts sniping people in the head, which is very brutal.
Is the angel thing something that like is
Yeah,
Daredevil
okay, I was
lore
gonna
that I
ask you
don't know?
that.
I have no idea what that is. Is
So
this some kind of like Daredevil lore that I'm missing?
that, I mean, dang, Harper, come back. Tyler, come back. I feel like they don't know of anything, but yeah, I don't recognize it.
Like he was on the rooftop, right? He killed some people, and then the angel visits him and says, "Shouldn't you kill everyone?" It's just like a golden angel, and then he starts killing everyone at the end. Like I was very like, was Bullseye dead before this? Because obviously I didn't read the Daredevil run building up to this run.
Charles Souls?
So
No, I didn't read that.
Is he being like, it was Bullseye revived or something like that?
I'm gonna check the discussion thread of this on like the
because that was the only scene in this issue that I was like, I have no idea. But then I was like, maybe it's from Sewell's run or one of the other ones that I haven't read that maybe would fill in some knowledge. Brubaker maybe. I was like, maybe there's something that I'm missing here.
Yeah, doesn't look like people are talking about it.
Or is this like a newer thing? Is this gonna be like a new concept that's gonna be explained next issue? Like, I don't know.
No, okay, so it's not a character. It's just it's Bullseye's head. It's just messing with him. It's what he sees.
Oh, okay.
So it's not. I could be wrong about this. Just reading down the internet saying that
right now Tyler's yelling at his headphones.
No, it's clearly it's clearly Archangel. No, it's according to this guy on the internet, it's just Bullseye sees an angel telling him to kill everyone.
Oh, okay. I mean, actually, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. So, which terrifying.
I mean, not cool. Like, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's good writing.
Cool in a comic book standpoint, not in real life.
It also looks like the brief little time we see Bullseye, it looks like he has a different suit on. Usually the white wraps around his neck on his suit, but now it's wrapping around his arm, kind of like Lady Bullseye, a little bit. So I'm curious if you'll have a new suit in general. And the next issue, I think it was censored before. This building used to be something else, but now it says citywide homicide continues. I don't think that was there on the solicitation.
I think the next issue is set up to be like the best one since 24 because you have the Bullseye stuff, the Elektra Daredevil stuff, and Kingpin. Like that's all brewing to be a perfect storm. So I think we're about to get some really good stuff.
Yeah, Kingpin's kind of showing his true colors a bit more casually. So his only role in this is he's screaming at a cop to find Bullseye, and the cop saying
not just the cop, the commissioner.
Yeah, the commissioner
and he's threatening the commissioner's life.
Yeah, he says that he's gonna I will kill you if you don't find him. And so other cops put the guns on Kingpin, and he says, by the time you pull the triggers, my palm will be wet with Commissioner Dean's brains, and you will be dead, cops who try to kill our beloved mayor. So he used to be, hey, I'm a good guy now, but now he's like, hey, I'm not good guy now. But
who is the girl with him?
That's Mary.
Okay.
He hired Mary as his bodyguard.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, she was mostly in the Venom stuff.
Right, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Is that? I thought that was the commissioner on the next page after that scene that Bullseye kills. Same hair. Is it?
He does look exactly the same. Man, we're just two Marvel experts right here.
Yeah. Is that it? No.
We're back. This is really an OG Hero Story episode. Not understanding Marvel comics. Hell yeah.
You're like, is that him? Nah. Maybe.
It does look like him though. Okay.
It could be.
Let's let the video listeners. This is the commissioner, right?
Yeah.
And then this is the dead guy on the next page. Same guy, same haircut.
Yeah. So it could be same. Oh, I guess it's hard to tell the color of eyes he has on the Kingpin page. But yeah, I mean, can't really tell in general, but it could be. But yeah, that's Daredevil 31, Lockdown Part 1. I think this is only a 2-part issue or story arc. Could be wrong, but
I think the next issue is going to be a banger.
Yeah. It's all led like this was mostly like
it's building the last like
this was a setup issue. Yeah, it's good. I really enjoy it. It's just, you know, it could be a little better maybe, but no.
Yeah.
So far so good. I'm enjoying it still, even though the quality's dropped slightly. I give it a 9.
Yeah, I give it like an 8.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess I still have comic stock, but I'll just rapid fire through Beta Ray Bill because it's really short. This comic is extremely cool from splash pages alone. Just in a nutshell, Beta Ray Bill wants to fix his face. He wants to look better. He doesn't like the way he looks. The only way to do that is to find a weapon that Odin can enchant or already has the enchantment on it, so he can go back to his original form. Beta Ray Bill being the horse-like creature that teams up with Thor from time to time. Doesn't always look like that. He actually has a true form that he's more confident in. So in order to find that, he needs to go to the Fire Realm and talk to Surtur or take Surtur's weapon.
By the way, I never knew this. I thought Beta Ray Bill was just like a horse breed of Thor. I didn't realize like he actually has a real face.
Yeah, here I'll show you.
Is this like a newer concept or has this always been a thing?
As far as I know, it's always been a thing, but I could be wrong. This is what he regularly looks like. It's not pleasing, but it's what he likes. He has it in a dream. It's just that.
Oh.
So it's just us. It's like what we look like, but with no noses.
He's Voldemort.
Yeah, he basically looks like Voldemort. He has a nightmare where he forms into the horse form. He hates the horse form though. It just makes him stronger, but he hates the way he looks. So this whole thing was him going to find Surtur and Surtur's weapon to enchant, hopefully. Splash pages are cool in this. It's just explosions, fire, space.
That is cool.
And in general, like here there was 3 like splash pages like this. This is like the coolest page I've ever seen in my life.
the colors on that are killer.
Yeah, just him on the Fire Realm, just walking towards the weapon that he's been hunting for this whole time. And then this issue ends with basically, so his ship, Scuttlebutt, I think, something like that. His ship has like a form where it could walk around with him, and she is basically saying, "Hey, this could kill you. You don't need it. Like, I can see inside you. You're radiant, and you never needed a hammer or a sword to prove it. You don't need this. Like, just walk away." And Beta Ray Bill's like, "I wish I could believe that, but I've never felt that inside. I wish I could, but I can't. I have to do this." And so he goes to take the sword, and then Surtur appears, who, for those who don't know, he's the guy in Ragnarok who, I know, but he can. And then he blows up Asgard. So Surtur appears, and it ends with him just walking towards Beta Ray Bill like you're gonna die, essentially. But it's so cool. And there's 1 issue left, I think, of this miniseries. It's only 4. It's 5 issues in total. This was issue 4. Highly recommend. At least get in a trade in general.
Listen, I always give respect to Marvel for taking way more chances on miniseries.
Yeah.
They give so many characters. Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy both got miniseries in Marvel.
They sold out.
Yet I had to beg for a second Flash title.
Yeah, you still have to beg. You're still not getting it. At least Flash is.
We don't even have an Aquaman title.
Yeah, we don't.
Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane got their own series, and we don't even have Aquaman comics.
Aquaman 2 is filming. Aquaman 1 made like what? How much money?
$1 billion.
$1 billion. And they're just like, nah, but we can't really make a make an ongoing for him.
Yeah, but it's not a Batman title, so maybe we could do a Batman and Aquaman title.
I'd buy that too. That's the bad part.
I know you would.
But yeah, I give Beta Ray Bill like a 9. That was cool. It's a cool issue. United States of Captain America. All right. So this was.
I was gonna buy this issue. I was looking to buy it. Clayton, Comic Nation 1776, posted some panels of it. I read it. I didn't care for it. It reminded me of my problems that I have with Ta-Nehisi Coates' Captain America. I didn't end up buying it.
Which is fair. I mean, it's so the premise real quick. This was very hyped up. It's basically Steve Rogers' shield goes missing. Generic, I know, but in order to get it back, he decides he needs help. So the people that he goes to help are Sam Wilson, Bucky Barnes, and John Walker. Those are 3 people that have been Captain America before. And not just that, he asked them to put on their Captain America suits to join him. So it's like, it's 4 Captain Americas trying to find the shield that they've all wielded before. It's a cool concept for a story.
It's a cool legacy concept, which is what interested me in the first place.
Mm-hmm. It's such a cool idea. It's just some of the dialogue was weird, and they're putting another storyline in here, which is there's other Captain Americas out there, which is fine. It just seems rushed in a way. So it starts off with what I assume to be U.S. agent who took it. It's just some guy takes it. It ends up being a woman in the end, but right here it's clearly a man who takes the shield. Steve decides obviously he goes to chase it down, and he can't really find where this person ran off to, so he calls Sam Wilson. He's like, if you're in the area, can you please give me a bird's eye view and find it? Sam flies around the city for a bit, finds the guy, tells Steve where he is. They all meet up at this bridge. And from there, the guy basically plants a bomb, it seems like, as just a distraction so he can get away. So then a train's coming, Steve stops it, and from there, that's when he meets the first new Captain America, which is the Captain America of the Railways. His name is Aaron Fisher. So this guy was already announced. He looks like that there. He's he is the Captain America who travels around America. He's the first gay Captain America, and his dialogue is super rushed, which is a problem here because it's like, okay, the character's fine, but why is he written like this? So right off the bat, Captain America thinks, like Steve Rogers thinks this guy stole the shield. So he goes to punch him, and the guy says, "I'm just trying to help. Who are you?" "I'm Captain America. Bad jokes will get you broken teeth, son. Give it to me straight." Aaron Fisher, sir. What's the deal here? What the hell is going on?" And then Aaron Fisher tells his entire backstory, which is so strange. He's like, don't hit me. I'm innocent. I just ride the rails and then dig home, Dad tried to beat it out of me, but I learned to grow up over it.
What is this? What is this, a Bendis issue?
Yeah, literally, like a second ago, literally 2 panels ago, Captain America's like, I'm gonna, like, what the hell is going on? And then he says his whole history, like, anyways, left town years ago, broke up with my boyfriend, he stayed in Missouri. Sorry I'm rambling, kind of nervous. Anyways, there's cool people like us. We kind of are all around America. We look up to Captain America. It's like, aren't you chasing down the guy who stole Steve's shield? Like, what's going on here? So that's one issue. Like, the character's fine. It's just, why is he telling his entire backstory when they're supposed to be chasing down a guy?
Tell me that's not the same though as like Superman's about to like what are you doing here? And then Naomi's like, Naomi McDuffie, let me tell you my whole backstory. And it's we're in a battle scene.
It basically is like that. As he's saying his battle scene, Steve notices a little red dot on his chest, a sniper. So he tackles Aaron down, being like, get down. There's an assassin after us now. So this assassin jumps into the river and is able to get away, apparently, because they don't chase her. And basically, they're just like, okay, this is interesting because she wasn't trying to shoot me, wasn't trying to shoot Sam, she was trying to shoot the new kid. Why? And the kid's like, I don't know why. I mean, there's other people like us. There's other Captain Americas out there, so maybe they're just trying to kill Caps. And Steve's like, interesting. And it basically ends with him.
What is this? An episode of CW The Flash?
Yeah.
We don't chase down the villain because that would end the story too quickly.
She shoots. Right here, she jumps into the water, and they literally just watch her. What happens the next page, you ask? Are they going to track her down? It's them having donuts at home.
Oh my god.
It's Sam and Steve literally eating donuts to the point where they keep interrupting their conversation about what happened. So then Steve would be like, "Also, hey, watch the crumbs there, Sam. Oh, sorry about that." Anyways, this
Oh my god.
it ends with Steve asking Sam, like, suit up, not the Falcon suit, the cap suit. We're gonna track this person down. So that's, I mean, at least it ended with like, okay, it looks like the story's starting now, and we know that like Bucky was in this, John Walker wasn't in this, but we know they're gonna appear and be main characters as Captain America. So that's exciting. It's just what a strange
It sounds kind of dumb
issue.
so far.
Yeah, it is. It's like, are you doing this to tell a story about the Captain Americas uniting again? Are you doing it to introduce new Captain Americas? Or are you doing it because it's like the heist on Steve's shield? Like, I don't... One cool part that I kind of skipped over was the beginning of Steve just talking about America right now. And he's saying how this country isn't what it used to be and how we're too busy fighting each other, and where we could like use our words to stop fights rather than burning down buildings, essentially. So that was interesting seeing Steve's take. He's like, he feels like he's an easy target. People are wearing shirts with his face on it and yelling at people and hitting people, and he doesn't like that. So it's basically him saying like, I don't like where America is right now. But then we get to the whole chase scene and the new character. It's just kind of all random. It ends. There's like a bonus story at the end to show
Is
Eric.
this like a oversized issue? This seems
Yeah,
like
it is. Yeah, it was $5.
Woo!
It ends with another story of Aaron Fisher's origin of why he became Captain America. Which it's like, okay, if you're doing this, why would you have him explain it before if you're just going to show it?
Naomi McDuffie.
Yeah, it's just him being like his parents didn't like him. They didn't like that he was gay, so they kicked him out, and now he's just on the run. Essentially, he's a runaway. He just rides trains. He rides on top of trains, and as soon as it stops at a city, he goes and lives in that city for a bit. And when the train leaves, he hops on the train again. So it's an interesting character. And he became Captain America because he noticed there was a lot of like illegal things happening, like people were doing heists on trains. So he's like, I mean, I just ride the train. I don't steal from that. So maybe I could stop it. So he makes his own homemade suit, and he makes his own homemade cap shield, and he like stops people from robbing trains essentially. I mean, it's interesting enough. He was actually inspired by Sam Wilson with Sam's cap. So that's a cool idea, having him not inspired by Steve but by Sam. So besides that, it's like, okay, this is a decent origin story, but why are you basically telling it to me twice in one issue? Yeah. So yeah, that's issue 1. Next issue, we're getting another Captain America introduced, and that's the cover there. Hopefully it's a little bit better. Sam's back in the cap suit, so that's cool. But yeah, this is the only Captain America title on right now, I believe. So
yeah,
I mean, I'll give it like a 7. No, 6. 6, yeah. It's got its moments, but in the end, it's like the weird dialogue, the clunky kind of pacing, and I don't know. It's just like, oh, it's okay. I would recommend it because I do truly believe it's going to get a lot better. But as of now, it's just okay. And that's the comics of the week.
But we read a lot of comics this month. The episode's a little bit short because there wasn't really that much to talk about this week between news and comics. So Hunter and I have been reading a lot of comics. If you saw our posts from, I guess today. 2 days ago at this point.
Yeah, I guess so. A day ago.
You saw that we posted what we read for the month. I read 104 issues. Hunter read 103 issues. Beat him, bitch.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a lot of comics. So we figured we could kind of talk about like what we've been reading, and then what we plan to read in July.
Yeah. So just kind of we're roughly, I think, 50 minutes into the podcast. Yeah, roughly 50 minutes into the podcast. So this will be like the rest of the episode. So if you want to just ditch us now because you don't care about us talking about older stuff, thanks for listening. See you next week.
They're not gonna ditch. They're gonna keep watching.
Yeah, we'll see.
Don't make me a liar, viewer.
What was your favorite thing you read this month?
Well, I've been having a blast reading through Flash again. I mean, I'm guilty of it because I love it. I do. There's a reason he's my
Yeah.
favorite character. When it comes to new stuff, I think my favorite new thing I've read is God Butcher. I thought that was super cool, just because
Yeah.
it's a very cool comic booky concept, and I love like time travel and shit like that. That always clicks with me.
It's the type of thing that you can only do in a comic book.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Although
Like,
I don't know, I could picture that as like an animated movie, like the whole.
yeah, I guess that too. And I guess
That'd be
they are
cool.
sort of adapting it in
Yeah.
Love and Thunder.
Well,
Sort of. But I mean, for the story alone of Thor needs to time travel to get his younger and older self to fight a guy who's butchering gods because he's gonna blow up the universe. Like, that's a comic book right there.
yeah.
So, yeah, I guess my favorite thing I read this month was Invincible. I actually only read the last 4 issues this month because I read the most of it. I finished it June 1st.
May.
And I
Yeah.
started it May 31st. I read it in 2 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is still like, wow, this is like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Same idea. It's like, this is a comic book.
Yeah.
I won't because I know people don't want Invincible spoiled for them, so I don't really go in depth for it. But I will just say there's a fight scene that happens on the sun. Like, that's how big it is. So
and I think Invincible, and I haven't read it yet. I do want to read it badly, but I think for us it's even more like it's even more on that level because we're trying to break into creating comics, and that is a creator-owned comic, that made it big and that has like had such an impact. And it's like, damn, like
yeah,
Robert Kirkman's the guy who made his own universe. Like that's fucking cool, and that's the type of shit that we want to do.
Yeah, because like for Marvel and DC, you can make a new DC character and put them in the DC universe, but you didn't make that universe, you made that character and the characters around it, which is still awesome.
But it's a lot of work to try to world build about a whole universe and a whole set of characters and a whole set of powers that people actually care about.
Yeah, and like how
be
it works
successful
from
with
the
it.
laws. Yeah, well, Robert Kirkman even I read the back like we were talking about the Mark Waid stuff. He has like the letters in the back, and it started in 2003, and he was going to get canceled after 11 issues because nobody was buying it, and he wanted a twist. He's like, what if I'm going to do the little twist for Invincible that happens in Invincible episode 1 or Invincible issue 12 here. But I'm just gonna say it.
Omni-Man's not a good person?
Omni-Man's not good. What if Omni-Man's not good? Yeah, so for those who just watched the show, they didn't actually reveal that until issue 12. But Robert Kirkman wanted to reveal it at issue 25. And so he told his editor that, and there's like, no, do it now. And he's like, no, I want to save it for issue 25. He's like, nope, do it now because the book's getting canceled. So he did the whole twist where Omni-Man beat the hell out of his son, Invincible, and that was issue 12, and it was very sudden, but it worked, and that got people interested. Like, oh, maybe this could be a bit more different from the generic guy gets powers, and it was. And then it ended up being this whole universe, and it went on from 2003 to 2018 when it ended, which is insane.
I can't believe it went on that long. Like while we were reading comics.
Yep, and roughly 3 artists for the most part.
Ryan Otley.
Yeah, he's the main guy. He did most of it, but then they're like the fill-in artists kind of makes it up to 3. So yeah, it's so good. Like,
Invincible something that I
good.
want to binge at some point. Like it's something that it's only a matter of time until I read it.
Like,
and I know I'm gonna love it too. Like once I start reading it, I'm gonna be like addicted to it. Like where I read like 10 issues in one day and it feels like nothing.
I read 40 issues in 2 days. So I mean, that's the same as like Caleb, who's been on the podcast before. We read it at the same time, and we were messaging each other like, "What issue you're on?" And there were times that we were on the exact same issue, and we read Invincible issue 1 to 144 in less than a month's time, because it's that good. Like every free time I got, I'm like, I gotta go read. Like, I just have to read Invincible because there wasn't really any bad issues. There's some slow issues at the beginning, but once the story got going, it's like, wow, this is so good. There's one F-bomb in the entire series, and even then it's like, oh my god. Like at that point I have to like stop reading for a second, just process what just happened. Like they have moments like that. Like I cannot recommend it enough. And I've had people even message me. I've had probably over 20 people message me on Comic Book Hunter on Instagram saying thank you because I recommended it. Being like, I just read through that in like 2 weeks, said it was insane. I'm like, it is truly, like, I truly understand why people say this is the best comic book ever made.
Yeah, no, sooner or later I'm checking it out. Like it's only a matter of time. But
It's so good.
I've been reading a lot of Marvel because I got Marvel Unlimited. So I was the idea for me was I was gonna get Marvel Unlimited for while we did book club. I was gonna read Thor, God Butcher. I was gonna read Iron Man Armor Wars, and then I was gonna let the like free trial end, and that was it. And then I ended up liking Marvel Unlimited. It's
Marvel?
it's it's very nice to have every Marvel comic at the tip of your finger. You know what I mean? Like I could
It's
type in,
basically Netflix for comics, for Marvel comics, for those who don't know.
yeah, and it has everything. And even stuff that came out like Daredevil, they're up to like issue 26 or 27. So it's only a few issues behind on Daredevil. So I was like, it's
Read
recent stuff.
Venom. You can
I
read
know I
Venom.
could read Donny Cates Venom or Donny Cates Thor. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like that, it's pretty damn cool. So I ended up changing my free trial to the 1 year subscription,
How
and
much was that?
I want to say 65 for a year, which
Not
is
bad.
$5 a month.
Oh,
So,
that's not
so when I
bad.
put it into that perspective, I was like, the cost of a comic per month. Okay, yeah,
For
for
thousands.
yeah for tens of thousands of issues. So I've been reading. I've kind of got a goal of reading like as much Mark Waid as I can. Obviously, I love his Flash. You know, I love Kingdom Come. I love all these different runs by him. So
He's done a lot of
I
Marvel
don't
stuff.
yeah, and I haven't read a lot of his Marvel stuff. So the thing about Marvel Unlimited is you could like search by creator, right? So I could search Mark Waid and
And
I
then
could filter it by everything he's ever written. So I put it like in order of like the first thing he ever wrote to the most recent thing he's written. You know what the first Marvel thing he wrote was?
was in a Cap book.
Before that, a 4 issue Deadpool miniseries. That was the first Marvel thing he wrote. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Like I was not expecting. I knew he wrote Cap in the '90s, and I know his Fantastic Four was like early 2000s. So I was like, all right, I'm sure he's written some other filler stuff in between. But yeah, Deadpool 1 through 4 in like 1994, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was
Huh.
like, what the heck?
That is weird. Okay. So
But
how is this Cap? I know you read his modern Cap, right?
so I read Man at a Time, which is the modern one. It's a 5 issue miniseries. It's pretty good actually.
It's just about Steve waking up after being in the ice, right?
Yeah, but they actually introduce Kang in the story, and they do some time travel stuff.
What?
Yeah, it
What?
catches you off guard. I was like, what the fuck?
Okay.
It's yeah, I think it's issue 4 introduces Kang, and I was like, oh, that's why it's called Man Out of Time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's a little odd, but it's pretty enjoyable. But that's only 5 issues. But like, it's pretty cool. Like, Steve is up off the ice, and Tony takes him to a museum in Washington D.C. and he's just walking through like the space museum in D.C. and he's showing them like all of American history that he's missed, right? And like he's
Right.
showing him the moon landing, and like
Oh,
like
that's cool.
everyone in America having equal rights, and he sees Martin Luther King giving a speech, and
Oh,
he
that's
sees like the
awesome.
president. Yeah, so like Steve is like learning about American history, like everything that he fought for in World War II. He's seeing it like come true, and Tony's like narrating it. It's like a really super cool scene.
Huh.
So that was cool in Man Out of Time. And then I was like, all right, I want to read more of Wade's Captain America, but I know I have to go back first. So I read, it's like 1996, maybe 1997. It's very 90s, but it's pretty cool. Cap teams up with Red Skull at one point, which is like a very interesting team up.
Yeah.
There was one scene that I really liked where he's like stuck in the cube in Red Skull's cube, and inside the cube he's like living like a dream. So it's him and Bucky, and his only mission is to defeat Hitler. And he's finally at Hitler's door, and he's like, "This is it, Buck. We're finally gonna get him." And Bucky like stops and like he's like an NPC in a game all of a sudden. Like he just like stops dead, and he's like, "Bucky, what are you doing? Come on, we got to go take down Hitler." And then it's like Steve's conscious, like waking up, like, "No, this isn't right. This isn't. Think about it. It's too perfect." And like it's like the type of story that I like to tell, like that I'd like to tell someday. Like I love dream concept. Like it's so cool.
Yeah.
Like your own conscious, like waking you up. Like it's such cool stuff. So that was definitely a highlight of the '90s Cap for Waid. But that was only 10 issues. So now I have the 1998 run next, which is like maybe like 15 or 20 issues. This is like right before he wrote Fantastic Four, so I'm reading that. But I'm also reading Lee Ditko Amazing Spider-Man, which has been great. Which I didn't expect to like actually.
I thought you've
enjoy.
already read some of this.
I've read a decent amount, but not to the point where like now I feel like I'm focusing. The thing about digital is you're going panel by panel, so I'm reading it like so much more thoroughly, I guess.
I guess so, yeah.
So instead of just getting the story concepts, like I'm actually like truly understanding the story, if that makes sense.
Stan Lee's Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah, and it's good, man. I've basically been doing like an issue a day, and I don't know, I'm just enjoying it. And probably my favorite part of it is the letters page at the end. At the end of each book, they have like, it's called Spidey's Web, and it's like people writing letters to Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. And it seems like Stan's answering them from like the way they're written, but because he keeps calling Steve Ditko Steve Areno. But like it's crazy. Like it's today's Instagram is like these letter pages. Like people complain like there was a whole list of letters of people just like, oh man, I really hated Steve Ditko's art when he drew the Fantastic Four. That's terrible. Only let Kirby draw the Fantastic Four. Like never let Ditko draw them again.
Jeez.
And it's like it's crazy that people wrote into a comic like that. But then I was thinking like in 1964, there's no other way that you could vent your frustration other than just giving it to them. Like it's like an Instagram comment section. So it's kind of great.
Yeah. Huh.
And like I posted one of my stories. It was from like the second or third.
I was about to mention that. Yeah.
Where the guy's like, man, I really hope Spider-Man runs for the next 50 years. And Stan responds, only 50? And it's like 59 years later. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And Spider-Man will never stop.
No.
I truly think that Spider-Man will be around forever.
Oh, yeah. So Superman, Batman, Spider-Man are like that top three of just like, even if you don't know anything about comics, you know those characters.
Exactly. You will see
the household name. If
you wore a Batman shirt and went around the world, people would see that shirt pretty much in any country you go to and be like, that's Batman.
Yeah.
But that's how recognizable.
Yeah, exactly.
Same with Spider-Man, same with Superman.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. I guess I'll continue. I reread Batman Earth 1 in anticipation for Earth 1 Volume 3, sorry. Earth 1 is my favorite.
Volume 3 didn't seem like it delivers, but Volume 1 and 2 still hold up?
Yeah. So Volume 1 and 2, well, Batman Earth 1 in general was my favorite, well, still is my favorite Batman comic ever made. And yes, I've read
enough Batman.
I've read
needs to read more Batman.
I read Dark Victory, I've read Long Halloween, I've read Killing Joke, I've read Court of Owls, I've read your favorite Batman book, okay? I've read everyone says these are the best Batman books ever, and I read them. Earth 1's still my favorite. I think it's so well written.
Fair enough.
And specifically Volume 2, I will say. So if I had to pick a favorite, it'd be like Volume 2. Volume 1's really good. It's a great jumping on point. It's basically what if, it's like a what if story. What if Gotham City was a bit more gruesome and Bruce Wayne decided to be Batman, but he didn't do the training for it. He's not a detective. He doesn't know how to fight. He's just a guy who wants to fix Gotham, and he dresses as a bat and falls off rooftops rather than swinging from the rooftops. It's such a simple idea, but it works so well done. And then Volume 3 came out. So I guess people kind of already know that I love the Earth 1 series so much. So when Volume 3 came out this past month, I read it, and I thought that it was just all right. There's some parts that I love. Did you read it, JD?
I've only read Volume 1 of Earth 1. I've never
read Volume 2. Oh, I read.
I know. I gotta read Volume 2.
You gotta read 2. Wow. Okay, so Volume 3 is okay. It's basically Two-Face is the villain of Volume 3, and another villain that I won't say because it's a twist that this character was around. The
Omni-Man becomes a villain in Earth 1 Volume 3. Oh my God.
Okay, you know what? I'll just talk about it. So there's a twist. There's Bruce Wayne's grandfather is here, and it's like, wow, Grandpa, you're alive, and he's a crazy guy who wants to jump off a roof. So Bruce is like hiring people to take care of him, and he's trying to take care of him, and that plot point was just like, okay, where is this going? Like, why?
Jeff Johns wanted to finish the link from Doomsday Clock where the guy wants to jump off the roof and was like, no, I must finish this story.
Yeah, so it's just the suicidal old man that says he's Bruce Wayne's grandfather, and they check the fingerprints, everything, and yeah, it is his grandfather. And then you got the main story with Two-Face. So the cool thing about this is so Harvey Dent died in volume 2 because he got half the face burn, but he didn't survive that because it's more realistic. But his sister lived, and his sister decided she didn't have her face burn or anything, but she goes crazy essentially. So she has she puts on a very, what I imagine to be a very groggly voice where she's Two-Face, and then she has a regular voice where she's
tails, kitty cat.
Yeah, basically that. And then she has her regular version of herself where she doesn't realize she's doing this. And she has a bit of a romantic relationship with Bruce. So she's on and off again with Bruce, but she keeps leaving and talking all like that.
So in a more realistic world, she's supposed to be like what happened with Harvey dying made her kind of like schizo bipolar, like it's more of in her mind as
it's
opposed to
multiple personality.
She doesn't have the multi-face.
No, it is just her.
So it's just okay.
But they do. Gary Frank's the artist. He does a lot of stuff where half her face is in the shadows, or there's a door blocking. She's looking through a door like that. So
that's cool.
There's stuff like that. But the whole time, Two-Face is planning things on the sidelines. We don't see it happening. We just see the reaction of it happening, and everyone thinks that Harvey might be alive. So they go. So Bruce goes and digs through Harvey's grave at night, just like in Zack Snyder's Justice League with Superman, and they open up the coffin and Harvey's body's not there anymore. So it's oh crap, Harvey Dent is alive and he's Two-Face and he's killing people. It's not his sister. And then there's a scene where it's oh, both of them are in on it together. So it's Harvey's sister, I can't remember the name for some reason, is in a car with Harvey, and they're talking to each other. And the way the speech bubble is, it's all groggly to do the hey kind of thing, we gotta burn this place down. And it's so it's her talking.
Yes, my favorite Two-Face quote: "We gotta burn this place down."
I don't know, man. They were trying to burn a place down during the scene, but they're in the car and they have the shadow over Harvey's still fleshy face, and so you just see the burn just looking at her talking, and she's talking to her brother. Twist is, spoiler alert here, her brother is dead. She just took the body out and is talking to it.
Oh,
which is creepy and really well written. So that part was cool. She just the whole thing is set up to be Harvey's alive, but the way the speech bubbles are, I had to go back. The speech bubbles never connect to Harvey. They're always kind of just away from the panel.
That's actually pretty clever.
Yeah. So Harvey, she just dug up his body essentially and talked to him. It's probably easier to do since it's a comic book, so we don't actually see the voices going on during their conversations. But she talks to her.
I wonder if she was doing the voices for him.
Yeah, I think she was.
What do you think, Harvey? Well, screw what I think.
I think that's basically what was happening. And then the other twist in it, which I thought was kind of okay, was the grandfather, spoiler alert, not actually a grandfather, when Two-Face burned
but
the
his
place
fingerprints
down.
Match.
Yeah, so it turns out he had fake fingerprints on, and underneath were another person's fake fingerprints. Underneath that were another person's fake fingerprints. Underneath that were another and another and another. This is Earth One Clayface.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just a guy who kept putting on different fingerprints and fake skin over himself. He had something
Harvey's sister is named Jessica, by the way.
Oh yeah, Jessica Dent. So basically, he kept putting fake skin over himself to act like he was someone he wasn't, which I thought was okay. So in all, I think it's a good story, but I think Volume 2 still is the best.
Was Catwoman in this? Did I hear something about Catwoman being some weird thing?
Yeah, she is. She was in Volume 2, and she was great in Volume 2. She was fantastic, but it's just Selena Kyle. It's not Catwoman. And I won't say it because you're gonna read it, but she does some really cool stuff, and it's really Selena Kyle's type stuff in Volume 2. And this one, she suits up as Catwoman, but she's not dressed as any cat. She's dressed as the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland, and it's terrible. Her suit is awful.
Huh?
Oh my gosh.
Even Gary Frank can't make it look good?
I mean, he can make it as the best as anyone. Catwoman, Earth One. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, most of these images are just of oh, here it is. I gotta find, it's worse when you see the full thing. I found like a medium shot. Hold on. But yeah, I guess if you haven't read it, just look it up and you'll see. Here it is. It doesn't look like a suit. Like, my camera's not the best quality, but
What the?
so she's got like the Cheshire stripes on the socks, and then
That's so bizarre.
yeah, she's got the Cheshire. It's hard to see here, but like on the chest is like the Cheshire cat, like a drawing of it. It's terrible.
It's perfect.
No, don't. No, it's bad actually.
It's actually perfectly terrible.
But yeah. Anything else you read that you want to talk about? You read Wolverine.
I read Wolverine. Drew has been hounding me to read Wolverine, so I read it.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, it's 80s. It's good. It's Frank Miller art is probably at its like peak. Like Frank Miller peaked at Daredevil, Batman, Daredevil, and this art wise, because then he does Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, which is like Jesus Christ, my eyes hurt from looking at it. But
That's
like,
fair.
you think about his Daredevil, right? I mean, some of the best like art ever.
Yeah.
So like some of the pages, like they're super good. Like
Yeah, you posted that earlier.
some of the colors and stuff he does, like it's so good. Yeah, it's fine. It's a little old, but I like it. It makes you probably appreciate the Wolverine more. Like you could see they clearly took inspiration from it.
Oh, the movie.
Yeah. So
Oh,
but yeah, it's fine. It's only
Japan.
4 issues, so it's a pretty quick read. Like I read it all in one night, and it was kind of just like, okay.
Oh, that happened.
I read ton of Flash, man. I've been loving Flash.
Yeah.
You've read the Grant Morrison and Mark Millar Flash, right? That's like the human race, the Black Flash.
Oh yeah.
So the human race, he's racing like a Sonic the Hedgehog type thing, and like it's supposed to be like Wally's imaginary friend from when he's a kid. Like that whole concept, I'm like, yeah, this has Hunter all over it. Like he's supposed to be like Sonic. Like he kind of quasi looks like Sonic.
He basically is Sonic.
Yeah, like it's cool. But I was reading it, yesterday and a little bit more today, and I was just like, it's just making me smile. Like, man, I really I genuinely love this character, and I genuinely love this, whole run. Like it means so much to me every time I read it. And
how many times have you read it?
It's got to be pushing double digits at this point. I don't
Whoa.
know. Yeah, I love the run so much, but like continuously reading the run, it's less than that because like I'll just read like random arcs here and there. Like I'll reread Dark Flash Saga, or I'll reread Shade Lightning.
Right. Yeah.
Return of Barry Allen. So doing the entire thing is probably like maybe like 3 or 4, like all the way through. But I'm just loving it, enjoying it, and yeah. Cool. But what do we plan to read for July? Because July is upon us.
That's true.
We have things on our scope, I would assume.
Well, I'll just say real quick, Daredevil by Mark Waid is insanely good. The Spot.
Oh yeah, I mean that's like people put that up there as the best Daredevil run. Which is tough to do because there's so many great Daredevil runs.
Yeah,
I've seen people put it up there. I mean, it's Eisner winning.
I'm trying to think because it's so different from the others. Like it balances light and dark so well. You have like little stories where Matt is just trying to get Foggy to work out, and then you have stories where the Spot comes in. Hey, look, it's the classic Spider-Man villain Spot, where he just like puts his hand through his chest and his hand comes out of his elbow. Hey, that's funny. And then you make him like a horror character where he's making slaves, where he puts spots on people's necks so their heads disappear, and he throws the head in a closet, and then so they're just like headless slaves that he whips, or he sells. He does human trafficking essentially with another character called Coyote. And yeah, it's messed up. But then you go back to, hey, look, Foggy Nelson, he should eat an apple because that's unhealthy. And then you turn the next issue, it's like Foggy Nelson has cancer. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, so it's dark and light, and it's like, this is great. So yeah. What are we reading in July, you said?
So you're finishing Waid's Daredevil.
Yeah. That's so I finished the first omnibus. I have the second omnibus that I'm going to start right after we're done recording here. So
that's July reading. What else do you got on the plate in July?
I got Kingdom Come, which I've never read.
Yeah.
I bought it already in
Straight
one
from
sitting.
America.
Yeah, JD sent me Kingdom Come as a birthday gift. Thank you. And
of course.
I plan on reading it one sitting, so because it's not that big,
Yeah, one sitting's about right. I think you'll be
an
interested
hour
in
or
it
two.
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's that raw art, man.
you,
You appreciate each page.
exactly. And I tend to read for hours at a time, anyways, so I'm okay with that. So yeah, I'll read Kingdom Come when I have like a day off and just some time to myself. And then so Mark Waid Daredevil, like he said. And then I kind of want to get back to my Avengers binge because I've been enjoying it so much, but also Green Lantern.
Starting Green Lantern.
Yeah, starting Green Lantern. I have Kyle Rayner's first 2 volumes, and I kind of want to start that. And then I have other stuff that I don't know if I'll do for sure. I'm in a Spider-Man mood for some reason, so I kind of want to reread Ultimate Spider-Man. But for sure, Mark
I mean,
Waid.
you got the trades for it, right?
I do, yeah, for sure. Mark Waid Daredevil, for sure. Kingdom Come. Oh, Armor Wars. I'll be getting Marvel Unlimited free trial to read Armor Wars because that's our next book club, which should be out in 2 weeks' time, probably. And then
Yes, I don't know.
maybe
You tell me.
Harper's being locked up in my bathroom right now, so he might be there for a while. Which I guess, hold on, let me just.
Guys, help. Hunter has me tied up in his bathroom. He won't let me go. He's threatening my entire family.
So yeah, yeah. So
To be fair, Hunter calls it a washroom and not a bathroom. So
how do you know that?
you've said it so many times. We're like, oh, I'm gonna go run to the washroom, and I'm like, the fuck? It's a bathroom.
Okay. Fair enough. I guess that's
But-
not an American thing.
So that's how I know Harper's not actually locked up. Boom, got him.
Yeah, definitely not locked up. Got me. What are you reading?
Well, you have a pretty Waid-filled July with the rest of his Daredevil and Kingdom Come. I too will have quite a bit of Waid as I plan to run through his late '90s Captain America. I also really want to read his Fantastic Four. It's not as long as I thought it was. It's only like 30, 35 issues, I think, total.
Oh, that could be doing one like omnibus, maybe.
Yeah, so and it's with Mike Wieringo who worked on his Flash. So I one of my favorite artists from his Flash run. So I've always wanted to check out his Fantastic Four, and I think it'll get me more into the Fantastic Four. So I want to check that out.
I forgot. Fantastic Four by Hickman, Volume 3. That came out. I pre-ordered it. I forgot I pre-ordered it, but it arrived at my door like at the start.
Isn't that the best thing about Amazon pre-orders when it arrives and you're like, oh, that was 7 months ago.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, this came out like start of June. And I'm like, well, I'm reading Invincible right now, so I'll read this after. And I forgot. So yeah, I'll be reading Fantastic Four by Jonathan Hickman.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll be reading some four.
I'm kind of thinking about reading some Moon Knight as well. I don't know. I added it to my library on Marvel Unlimited. I was thinking about maybe the Warren Ellis or the Jeff Lemire. Not sure. I've heard
Warren Ellis is very, very good. It's
not
short
to be not to be confused with Garth Ennis as we usually do on the show.
Yeah, for some reason. But yeah, Warren Ellis's run is extremely good. I highly recommend it.
And then just keeping up with. I'm obviously gonna finish my Waid Flash. I'm pretty close to the end. I'm like 23 issues away from being done. I think maybe a little more. So book 7 and book 8 basically, and keeping up on Lee Ditko and Spidey.
Spider-Man.
So
how much you told me? I don't know if you said on the air or not. Probably not. That you were going to read up to Gwen Stacy's death.
Yeah. So I started at Amazing Fantasy 15 and then right into ASM 1. And I was like, when I started ASM 1, I was like enjoying this. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to read up to the death of Gwen Stacy. Like that was my goal. That's 122 issues in, right? Because she dies in 121 and then Goblin's Last Stand is 122. So I was like, all right, I'm going to read through 122. And at first I was like, I'll never make it there. But now I'm on issue 26 and I'm like, I can do it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're enjoying it. And then you got to read Spider-Man Blue after.
And then I'll read Spider-Man Blue and then I'll watch Spider-Man Lotus and just have like full appreciation for that era. But I don't know. I've been enjoying it. So who knows? Maybe I'll go up even more than that. I mean, Stan Lee leaves after 110, I think. Like he doesn't write the death of Gwen Stacy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's issue 110 or something like that. It's his last issue, and then Barry Conway takes over. So, it's obviously a different run, but that's why I said at least to the death of Gwen Stacy, but maybe more. I mean, like 5 issues after Gwen Stacy dies, the Punisher gets introduced. So, There's still a
so
lot of
this
stuff that
looks
happens in
interesting.
Amazing Spider-Man, so maybe I'll keep reading, but at least to 122. I mean, that's a pretty cool, like, on your comic resume, to be like, oh, I read Amazing Spider-Man 1 through 122. Like that's kind of cool.
And then pretty soon, and then up to 122 to 127 or whenever Punisher's introduced.
Yeah,
So
129 he's in.
Oh, I'll just read up to Venom. And then, I'll just read up to Carnage.
Yeah, I'll just go up to 300. Oh, I'll just keep, and then all of a sudden I'm at 800, and I'm like, oh my god.
You've read,
but that's the beauty of Marvel Unlimited, my friends. You can just keep reading and reading and reading.
Convince me.
There. Okay. For $5 a month, you can help.
Yeah,
you can read your Marvel comics much cheaper than trying to buy every single trade like Hunter, that madman.
Yeah, I mean, I still check here and there for the Armor's Worth trade, which was a common item, but ever since
I know you're not the biggest fan of digital comics, and I know that you don't mind them. I know you don't mind them.
Thank you.
But I think you're gonna be like me when you get it, and especially it's gonna be different for you because I'm just reading them on my iPhone, which kind of sucks. You have a full iPad. When you read them on your iPad, you're gonna be like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever, and you're gonna end up on the year subscription to Marvel Unlimited. I already know it.
I mean,
it's gonna start like, oh, I'll just read Armor Wars, and then I'll read, insert thing here, and then it's like, oh, well, while I'm here, I should fill in whatever Avengers issues I'm missing.
Yeah, because I am missing New Avengers.
Yeah,
the second run by
Bendis.
Then
you start reading like all these things on Marvel Unlimited, and then you're like, wow, this app's fucking great. And then you're like, well, I'm going on this for a year now.
Well, even then, like, it's not that I don't read digital comics. Like, The Nice House by the Lake by Tunyon.
Yeah.
Wait, you weren't there for that episode, but Harper, Tyler, and we read that, and my shop didn't have it, so I just bought it on Comixology. And I plan to do that for the entire run. Is just get it all on Comixology, because there's just because I already have issue 1 on there, and I don't want to have like issue, because the thing is gonna be 12 issues in total. I don't want to own issue 2 to 12. I want to own issue 1 to 12.
Too bad you didn't get issue 1. It's selling for like 5 times what it retails.
What?
Yeah, it's already up to like $30.
Oh my god! Yeah, my shop didn't even have it. So, and I still wanted it, and I don't pirate comics. I do not pirate comics, so I just decided to buy it on Comixology, and yeah, I'll just buy all of it.
Do you use Comixology on your iPad or on your computer?
iPad.
It's not bad, right? It's like
actually
like a pretty good way to read comics.
It is, yeah. Oh, the panel to panel, I don't really like that much.
I think it depends on the book. Like for Lee Ditko Spidey, it's kind of perfect because everything's like a 9-panel or like 12-panel.
Yeah, that'd probably be good for like a.
So it's great for like the squares, but yeah, no, I could see like some of the 90s cap that I was reading. I was like, all right, this page does not make sense to go panel by panel.
Yeah, so even then, the Nice House on the Lake, it has a couple pages where like characters are like coming out of panels.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like, nah. So I just did regular, which you should read, by the way. I would highly recommend Nice House on the Lake.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Nice House on the Lake. I'm gonna have to check that out.
It's a cool horror concept, and we're like Harper, Tyler, and I reviewed it, so we will probably be reviewing issue 2 when that's out in like a week, I think. So would recommend. And yeah, I guess that's the episode.
That's the show. So thanks for watching. If you stuck around to hear us babble about comics, this was a fun episode. We'll probably have the boys back next week
to review Black Widow.
Mm-hmm. So get your popcorn and your Disney Plus ready,
or your movie theater tickets, because we are watching Black Widow and we don't want to just do full on. Hey everyone, here's some spoilers. Like a minute after release, we're gonna be releasing the podcast episodes a day later.